carbon factory was the Belgian. And then he came to us and said, look, there's a friend of mine who's running this rubber factory in Sri Lanka. He has some different idea of how to make tires, and so he wants to break off on his own. This is why I said, if you have ideas, you should be the nucleus of another lodestar, So basically he came to and explained to us, he said, I want somebody with engineering knowledge who can do this. So we sat down, he spoke to him, and it makes a lot of sense what he's saying, essentially what he is saying is that traditionally you use the press and you cure the tire on the press. Then you have the huge cost of your capital cost of your press just waiting and closing a mold and keeping it closed. What he said was, look, why don't we just close the mold, put it in an oven, and then let the press make some more tires. Okay, so you cut your capital cost tremendously. Of course, when we tried to do it in practice, we did find a lot of problems, because we found the stresses that were being generated very much higher than we thought. But we made the process work, and so that's why I said we had to make our own machinery, because we couldn't buy standard machinery to do this process. So we developed that capability. We had the engineering knowledge, he had the technical knowledge. So we made the machines. Okay. 2006, 2007, we were the largest single exporter in Sri Lanka. 2008, unfortunately, because of the world economic crisis, we went down. And export awards also. And you can see what happened. This is 2008, and it comes down, right? So this is a lot of changes after this point, but I am looking at up to 2010 basically. Okay. Questions? I think anybody who was in the manufacturing industry at that time would have known this. 2008, August 2008, everything went. We were down to 30%, 35% of our production. We barely survived. Our break even was 6,500 tons. We had to bring that down to 4,000 tons. Our manpower was 8,300. We brought it down to 5,300. In 6 months, we shed 3,000 people, but without any labor unrest. That is interesting. But we had to do it. Okay. If we didn't do it, we wouldn't be here now. So, as much as we like to have permanent employment, when the fate of a company is at risk, you have to do that. You have to take the hard decisions. So, the synergy is basically between, this is Mr. Pringes. Some of you might know Mr. Pringes. Very strong character, very interesting character, and myself. We are the two main driving forces of Lodestar. Okay. Partnership and collaboration between the two of us. Unique, two different individuals working together towards a common vision with a high sense of trust and integrity. This is most important. If we ever get into a partnership with a foreign company, the trust and integrity must be there. This is where a lot of Sri Lankan companies fail, because the Sri Lankan tries to take a little bit more smart, take money. We signed an agreement in 1984. That agreement held for the whole period. We did not change it. Sometimes it was beneficial for them, sometimes it was beneficial for us, but we did not change it. Okay. So that trust and the integrity is utmost importance if you want to grow something like this. Any questions? No? Okay. As I said, I will just put down the factors that contributed to success. Honesty, integrity, humility. You might find that this is all thing to have here. Next one. We always ate together. shop floor and we used to sit down and discuss. No barriers. Common eating place, common uniform, common transport. We used to do religious activities at Srimabodhi. Everybody gets there. Everybody gets the same way. That is a part of the culture. Okay. I take up the first bag, they take the rest of the bags up. This is an activity we do, which is to every year we take sand and the Udamalu and the Atamalu, we put sand on the two. Second factor for its success: commitment, dedication, and developing the organization. Okay, hard work, willingness to innovate, try something new, take risk. When we started Lodestar, for 5 years, we said only one office, only one table, one telephone, one man. That's all. No AC, no AC officers, no nothing. Yeah, this is another model. So, Mr. Prinjas and I had one office, and we used to work on the floor. So, we used to lead from the front. Mr. Prinjas could work on a mill, I could do the engineering. So, hard work, taking risk, very high customer and quality focus. This was very important, because we knew whom we were selling to, we knew the market requirements. The only way we could succeed was that we met the market requirements. So, there is no way of making an inferior tire, we have to make the kind of tire that they expected. And the other one was walk the talk. That is, we did not tell people to do something and not do it ourselves. We always led from the front. These are interesting photographs. This is Mr. Prinjas and I launching a boat. Making boats is another activity we did, but always we were in the forefront. This is Mr. Prinjas, this is myself, and launch in the water. In the water, this is myself. Okay. So, we always led from the front. If there is anything to be done, even a dangerous activity, we always be to be in the front. So, that is our philosophy of working. Right. This is a team that went to Japan to remove the machinery. Everybody stayed in the same place, ate the same food, everything the same, including myself. That is the Lodestar culture. You can see probably the dirtiest uniform is mine. After we finished the job, we were supposed to finish it by Christmas. We finished about 3 days before Christmas. So, all of us went to the Universal Studios in Japan and had a good time. This is my way of saying thank you. Yeah? Yeah, and we all enjoyed. Yeah. There is another slide which is even nicer, because it shows all us in what we call our Majang kits, okay, straight after the working. Okay. So, as I said, even when Mr. Prinjas came and we stayed in the same hotel, we ate the same food, we used the same transport. That is how we worked as a team. And so, in Lodestar there is a sense of one team, we all work together. We have different functions, different things to do, different responsibilities, but we are still one team. Third one was a relationship based on deep and genuine respect amongst partners. This is very important, because there are, you obviously will understand, being a joint venture, there are people from Belgium, from different countries, there are Sri Lankan people, there are Sri Lankan people from different social backgrounds, but we always had this respect regardless of religion or caste. That is the bonding we had. That is what made it possible for us to go this fast. And also total non-political. We did not support any political parties, we did not get any assistance from political parties. and we did not take people from political parties. Okay, so the recruitment was strictly merit based, and also we had a respect for traditional values and environment, which is we built the company even though it was a joint venture. We still kept very much the traditions of Sri Lanka, so that in New Year they will always come and give me beetle, right. On the 1st of January they will always come and take their presents from me. That relationship was always there. Okay. So much so that I think there is a slide later on. In the Midikama factory, when we set up the Midikama factory, we set up a temple in the middle of the factory, because we were tapping the culture, the basic values that people had. This is what we addressed. We did not try to address any put in European or the imported values. We went back to the traditional values of the people and appealed to that value. That is what gave us the strength. Any questions up to now? No? You find it strange? Yeah? Lakshman, what?
So basically you had that the basic agreement, both parties respected to the fullest. So that sets the rules, right? The basic rules.
Basic rules.
And then we have the individual mutual respect to each other.
Yeah.
And the great understanding that whatever one party does is for the benefit of the company.
Yeah, yeah.
So there can't be any conflicts.
Okay, there will be difference of opinion, but then we used to meet 5-10 minutes and sort it out, no problem. Now he designed some molds and brought some molds, 22 million rupees worth of molds. I rejected it. Just like that, I said no, I don't accept it on safety. And so we did a calculation, we checked it. He agreed with me, finished, scrapped it over. So like that, you have to not get involved in a personal or ego battle. You must be able to see the larger picture where you are going. As I said, the respect for each other, that is the main thing. And this is where I think a lot of companies tend to fail in Sri Lanka. They don't have the trust for people.
Ego based.
Yeah.
That trust you said that the one for the record.
Yes, and everybody else has to follow. You see, within the company also you've had people who work for me and people who work more for him. And so they had their loyalties to the two sides. But then we never clash, because we at the top, we never let it clash. They also don't clash. Okay, somebody comes and says, look, this thing has not been done, this not has been done, this is wrong. Okay, and the natural reaction is that for that superior to come and hammer that fellow when he gets back, by some means or other. So you have to build up the culture very strictly, saying anybody has the freedom to say anything at the council meeting. Whatever they say at the council meeting must be the good of the company. It cannot be a personal attack. But then when somebody does raise an issue like that, he cannot be penalized in any way. That has to be a ground rule. I have said that very straight. If I catch any staff member penalizing anybody for what they have said at the council meeting, be careful, you are dealing with me. So I think that way you have to set that culture. So management's reaction is always to defend what they have done and say that is right. The workers will on their side say that they are right. So somewhere, very often I used to be in the middle and ask, okay, let's get to the bottom of it. And then we get to the bottom of it, understand. But very often what happens, I find, is that the management does not understand what the people are saying. There is that gap. The management looks at it from the management point of view. You don't go into the workers' point of view and look at it from the workers' point of view. If you can just sit for a moment and go and look at it from the workers' point of view, you will understand this a little bit better. It's what we call a win-win, right? But we always go for a win-lose. I don't know whether I am making myself clear or not. It's maybe a difficult concept to understand. Anyway, as I said, the respect for all people, totally no politics. I think when we started the Midikama factory, they said, you have to take our people, otherwise you will burn your factory down. I said, okay, you burn the factory, I will go and set it up somewhere else. Okay. But once you establish that relationship, That's I think total commitment to developing technology and systems. We got ISO 9000, 14,000 and also 50,000 also for energy now. Yeah? We put in LPS production system, which is what we is a lean system. In 2007 we started this. In 2007 we brought in McKinsey as consultants to put in lean systems. They were there for 18 months, and at the end of it, it was a failure because they did not understand the culture. They tried to put in top-down management systems into Lodestar. Lodestar is a bottom-up company, and so all the systems they did were very expensive lesson for us. And so when that happened, we went to Japan and went to India and looked at the Toyota factory. We picked up all the information we could on Toyota, and we started on Toyota, the LPS, that's a Lodestar production system, which is the equivalent of Toyota system. And we are probably one of the factories which are really following lean now. We have a fairly good lean system now. But that again was again we had a group of 25 people went to there and studied it as much as possible, and then came and implemented. R&D, very big emphasis on R&D. We have reduced the new rubber in our compounds by 30 to 40%. If we didn't do this, we wouldn't be here. I think for the polymer chemist, I think it might be interesting. Lot of work was done on developing compounds and also the not recycling, but getting a polymer out of the cured polymer. I think people are aware of these processes now. Yeah. Okay. This is some of the LPS, the Lodestar production system. Very visual, lot of people related information on the boards, assessments, skill assessments going on, right? These are the very visual boards showing all the parameters. This is one interesting thing. In all the factories, we have these relax points inside the factory, and people, there's a newspaper there. People are free to go and sit there, read the newspaper, have a cup of tea, no questions asked. Anytime. Anytime there is a free time in their cycle. Mainly males, because we work 12-hour shifts, so you can't get the females to work in the night. It's all young, 20, 25 years old. So basically, these are all the cell documents are. These are the basic 7 Toyota cell documents. I won't go into this one because okay, lean is another long topic if you want to go into that. But here the cell documents are maintained by these people. We don't have other people to maintain the cell documents. So one of their competences is the ability to fill all the cell documents. Again, this is each individual person has his chart. Lot of visual communications team. I won't go into all this the lean system documentation. If you want to lecture on that, you'll organize one sometime. Okay. I said deep commitment to develop the people who work for us and the society at large. Training, training, training. Okay, lots of training. Improving the overall competencies of all our members in the organization. Learning and development as a power of creating career and personal excellence. Believing in people's abilities, skills, competencies, and moral power towards the organizational success. Very important, people development. This, I would say, the biggest single success of Lodestar, because it is the power of the people. If you go into a Lodestar factory in the night, Vidikama, for example, we will find there are about 500 people working. No staff members. No staff members. Car park is empty. The process is completely controlled by the shop floor.